So this all started about 4 years ago when I was 13. I had honestly forgotten about all of it until just now after reading some of the other people's posts, so I thought I might share with this one. Anyway, my friend and I, like most bored kids in a rural area, spent most weekends walking around the village trying to find anything to do. On this particular day, we decided to walk to an old derelict barn that we hadn't visited in years. It was about a 30-minute walk from my friend's house, so not too far. And the journey was slightly shortened if we cut through a forest located by an abandoned gas station, which has been renovated since. So, we reached the said woods, which was overgrown with stinging nettles and thorns. But we managed to scrape through a slight opening in the foliage and entered the forest. It had such a weird vibe. It's hard to explain, but I could compare the feeling to when you're at home, alone, and hear some inexplicable sound. The trees were giant, and unlike any of the neighboring woods, and around each tree there were immense clearings. There were also old rusty pylons scattered around. The whole place just felt super off. Trying to not focus on it, we walked up a steep bank to get to the other side of the forest as quickly as possible. As we got deeper into the woods, I felt the weird vibe more and more, until I eventually heard footsteps. They were really loud, but I couldn't see anyone, nor would I expect to see anyone in such an isolated area. The footsteps at this point were getting louder and louder at this point, and everything felt kind of blurry from that point. I kind of remember seeing an extremely tall figure inches away from me, and instantly shouting to my friend to run. We legged it out of the forest, and I was so terrified I just ran through the nettles and brambles and kept running without stopping until we were far up a road. At that point, I decided to look back. I then saw, clear as day, the tallest man I had ever seen, emerging from the forest in a dark, scruffy clothing. I couldn't really make out the face, but at least from the distance, there appeared to be a sack on his head. It stopped and stared at me for about 10 seconds, until I clocked how monumentally terrifying this all was, and ran all the way back, not looking back once. Honestly, just thinking about it unnerves me, especially since I am only 5-minute drive away from those woods as I am writing this. I would say that I was just being a very imaginative kid. However, since that day, my friend and I have had 2 more encounters with what I think is the same man, both happening in the last year or so, at which point we have lost or over imagination with age. I have also located where I assume he or it lives, a blue industrial shipping crate near where I first saw him, which contains a mattress and a couple of other items. I can go into more detail about what happened the other times in another post, because this one's getting longer than I expected. I very rarely have dreams, and the only dream I have now is one where I am in the forest and feel a presence and need to escape but can't find the way out. I don't think that man is a ghost or some dark force or anything like that, but I don't know who he is exactly, or what he is, or what he's doing living in the woods. That's what terrifies me the most, the fact that I just don't know. When I was 17, my bedroom had a window looking out on my backyard. The backyard was fenced in, but on the other side of the fence were some woods and a retention pond. I had never been scared of this, and kept the blinds open so that when the sun rose in the morning, the natural light would help me wake up. One night, I was up late on my phone with my dog laying in the bed next to me. At around 2 a.m., my dog jumped up and started barking at the window. At first, I thought he was just barking at his reflection and told him to stop. But then I realized he was looking at the left side of the window, while his reflection was on the right. I couldn't see outside of the window because I had left the lamp on my nightstand on. All I could see in the window was the reflection of my bedroom. Not wanting to alert whatever might be out there that I was scared, I faked a yawn, set my phone aside, and turned off the lamp. I then laid down facing the window, and I swear I saw a set of human eyes looking back at me from the left side of the window. I drink a lot of water at night, so I had an empty bottle on my nightstand. I grabbed it and pretended to just realize it was empty. I turned on the lamp and acted like I was going to get some water. I went to my parents' room, and my dad told me not to worry. We had these motion-activated floodlights, and they hadn't turned on, so there was no way anything was out there. I went back to my room and told myself I was just seeing things. I closed the blinds and turned off the lamp and went to get some sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I went to take my dog out and decided to check out the pine straw bedding underneath my window. It was visibly disturbed. I did my best to ignore that and remember what my dad said about the floodlights. That worked pretty well until my dad tested the floodlights later that day and found that the bulbs had burnt out. To this day, I keep my blinds closed and my lamp off when I sleep. I don't want to risk anything being able to see me, and if anything is somehow peeking through my window, I want to know it's there. If that night there was someone at my window, let's not meet.